In this lesson, we'll move on to our next section of in-betweens. Let's go back to our perspective camera and can now work on the next section here where the character is looking at what he's done. What we're going to need to do on 140 is actually have him look back down at the wagon, okay, to see what he's done. And then what I also like to do, and this is also to prepare for adding just a little bit of subtlety in his movement. So I like to take the arms here, since they're going to be moving down as he's looking up, we can have them move just slightly upward, not much at all. Again, it's going to be really subtle because we're going to want a moving hold here. So we'll do the same to the other arm. Okay, move that wrist down possibly, and then go to the elbows, have those move down some here, and then the shoulders will have those move up. Okay, so we just add a little bit of movement. Alright, great. And then what we could even do to take it a step further is select the arm and select the elbow, go to the pose that we added, and this is the left arm and elbow, and just add a 1 frame offset here where we, let's say, take the key down 1 more frame, just so we have a little bit of just a little offset here, so it looks more natural. Alright, great. Now, moving on, what we can do is have him work on adjusting his belt. So since we've constrained the hands to the belt, what we'll do here is have him on about frame 186. We can have the hips rotate first to his left side, and then at about 192 to his right. And then we can look at the timing of this and even see if we took the pose far enough, maybe rotate a little bit more. Great, and we do want to be conscious of the elbows as well. So let's look on frame 186. Can adjust this left elbow, bringing that back, and the right elbow, maybe bringing that forward. And then on 192, can take this elbow here, the left elbow, maybe go to 193 even to add a little bit of offset. Those offsets really add some nice subtleties as well that improve our end result. Great. And now let's go ahead and focus on our shoulders here. So let's say on say about 181 we go there and adjust the shoulders. And then by the time the character twists on 186, can bring this left shoulder back, and the right shoulder will bring forward so that it's following along. And then on 192, can bring the right back, and then the left forward. Alrighty, great. So we could even add, and we'll probably add this later, it depends, may add a little bit of shifting in his mustache, okay, again to show off his personality, but we'll worry about that later. Right now we're just adding our next pose of in-betweens, what would be necessary. But what we will do is go to the chest and make sure that that's going to be moving as well. So on about 180, let's go there. And since he's going to be rotating his chest first to the left, on 180, let's go ahead and have him rotate his chest first to the left, because with the chest it's actually going to be going in the opposite direction for the twist. So that means on 186 we're going to want to rotate the chest slightly to the character's right. And then on 192 slightly to the left. Great. Okay, so now that that has been done, that brings us to our next section. Looks like the arms have been slightly offset. Each arm has been slightly offset as well. And that might work out rather nice, actually, when it comes to smoothing out our animation. So we'll leave it as is. And what we're going to actually start doing is having the legs move rapidly. Okay, remember we're going to have them move in a cartoony manner, moving all over the place. So we're going to get to that very soon. Before that, let's go ahead and work with the hat. We'll just add an in-between where it flies up in the air. Let's go ahead and select it. We may need to turn off the reference of our character viz layer. Select the hat geometry, select the up arrow so we can get to the group that's animated, and we'll have the hat move back and up. Okay, so it flies in the air, and then the character grabs it and then takes it out. And then we'll go to the character's arm here. And this is where we're going to focus on the hold. We may need to reference the layer again, but we're going to work on the hold here, and we can focus on our shot camera. But basically, we want to have this visible because he's going to be throwing in his hand, and if we basically have the hand exit with the same speed, we're not going to know what happened. The audience is not going to know what happened. So, keeping this in mind, what we'll do is, say about on 280, we can bring back the hand a little bit here. Okay, and have it start to rotate down a little bit. And then at about 287, we'll bring it back a little bit more. Maybe up a little bit here, and then rotate it downward. See how that looks. Alright, it might even be better if we brought it back a little bit more and then rotated it upward, and then change this pose on 280 where we bring it down, so that as he pulls the hat back, get a little bit of follow through. Alright, that might work to look nicer. Alright, great. Well, for now that's really our first in-between pass. Okay, what we could even do from here before we call this done and move on to basically locking down our poses and having the legs move rapidly, what we can even do from here is work on adding a few more poses to our global move that's controlling the character's exit. So you can always select one of the controls, hit the up arrow until you get to the character move. Or again, you could always go to the outliner and select it from there. But what we're going to want is for the character to first move back. So let's see, on frame 247, and we could even look at our shot camera. For this, we'll go to our save layouts. On 247, can have the character move back some. on 255, maybe move forward. And let's see how this looks when we hit play. I think maybe have him move back a little bit more on 247. And then we'll hide our curves and see how this is all coming together. Great. So what would be nice to do now is to work on another play blast to see how the changes that we've made, the in-betweens that we've added, are looking before we even get to having the legs move at a rapid pace, just to make sure that we're happy with everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and work on a play blast again of the entire 300 frames. And here we have it. So as we can see, adding those in-betweens has really improved our work. It's taken it up a notch. Well, now that we're just about done with this fades, what we're going to do in the next lesson is work on having the legs move rapidly as the character exits. Okay, so we'll learn how we can do that. And we'll also, afterwards, lock down a few of our poses so we can get into smoothing out the animation and start to finalize it. So we're again making great progress, and again in the next lesson we'll bring our attention to the legs as they exit.